Good morning, ladies. It's Yolanda. I'm trying to be a little quiet because everyone is still sound asleep, but I have been trying to film this video for days, and it's just hasn't worked out with everything that's going on and kids and family and stuff. So anyways, I really wanted to share this with you and show you something I've been working on and some things. So anyways, before I show you, like the month of May has been really crazy with the kids and end of year projects and school and work and stuff, and so I've been a little MIA, but it was my niece's graduation, and just like a whole month of self-reflection, and I said I wasn't going to spend any money. I think for the month of May, and then I extended it to June, to the middle of June, because I had a couple breakdowns, but just in watching some videos, other, YouTubers, and it's kind of the general consensus, like we need to stop spending and use our stuff. And then I had been cleaning out and organizing some of my things in my craft room, and it's just overwhelming with all the stuff that you can accumulate. And I thought I really, really need to crack down on making handmade things, and putting all this stuff to use, which I know a lot of you ladies feel. So anyways, then I was watching a video by Natasha, and she was showing a little mini book she made with the mason jar die, and I love what she said, that not every mini has to be spectacular, not every project has to be like over the top. And I think that, I know when I create something and I give something, if it's to a crafter, a fellow crafter, I know they're totally going to appreciate the 1,000 steps that it took me, but a lot of times your gifts are for people that don't craft, and so they're like, wow, this is really awesome. But as my daughter calls my work, she's like, it's like an Alice in Wonderland album, too many doors and too many things to eat. I thought that was really funny. So anyways, okay, so back to the gift I had to make. My niece was going to graduate, and I wanted to give her something meaningful and something she could use, and so I wanted to make her a journal. And when I was looking through some of my stuff, I had found these really sturdy corrugated cardboard pieces that I bought at a scrapbook store like a long time ago, and I had about 6 of them. So I used that, and let me show you what the naked one looks like. The pieces were this size, and they're pretty good size. Let me tell you really quick, and I'll try not to make the video too long, but I just want to share with you what I made. They're 4.5 by 8.5. So I just filled it with, I guess you could call it like a junk mini. I just filled it with paper to write on, tags. I'm trying to use, my whole basic thing is to make it kind of simple, but fill it with a bunch of the stuff that I have, and, get my stuff moving through my craft room. So this is like a chipboard album piece, and I filled it with tags, more paper, a paper bag, just some paper bags that I got from Roxy. They're really awesome. And just, there's like an acrylic sheet, more tags, some time cards, and little envelopes. This right here is an envelope that I actually just folded in half. And then I sealed it, folded in half, and then slit open the ends right here so you can have little pockets. But I'll show you what I did in one of the other albums. So anyways, put it together. I use my We Are Memory Keepers to bind it. The cinch, We Are Memory Keepers, that's so generic, right? Anyways, I use my cinch to bind them. And, yeah, so I made, that's 1, 2, and this was a different size because I found a couple other pieces. I just want to move out my stuff. Like I said, I found a couple other pieces of really sturdy chipboard, really thick, that were already pre-cut to size. So I just added, like, this is a die cut that I had cut out at a crop, and I just punched the holes, and just the same thing. I did like a library pocket, and I just went through. I added some tabs like these. Oh, this is like a little file folder. This tab, this actually came from a greeting card holder set that I had, and that these little dividers came with it, and I never used them. So these are some, I think, like 5x9 envelopes, but I just cut them down. And I'm gonna put it all together and bind it. That way I don't stress over each page and figure out what's gonna go here and did I just stress it. I'm just gonna do it and then knock them out. And so let me show you the 2 I've made. So I did these, like I said, I did those and move them over. my desk is such a hot mess. I've been trying to finish this other one. Okay, so anyways, this is for my niece. She graduated from college, and I wanted something for her to write in. So I typed on my typewriter, A Girl's Perspective. My husband bought me like an old vintage typewriter. And at that same vintage store, like a thrift store, I found these really cool, I don't know what they're called or what they are, but they were in a big index card metal holder, and they were, they have a bunch of different college names, and like the director of, this one says student activities, and it has a name. It's like, I don't want to say it's typed on, but it's, you could see it, but there's no color. It's just like white. And it says LA Metro Business College, and they're just really neat. I don't know, I know somebody will know what these things are, but what I'm going to do the next time I use them, because they're raised, I'm going to put foam tape behind them and make it like a little shaker, and maybe put some beads or something in there, or glitter or something. So anyways, it just pretty simple cover. Left it kind of, blank over here. Cut out some flowers with wax paper and added some little flowers with the brad. And then on the inside, I have this stamp that I love, and it's this lady holding this card, and it says, "Just for you, oh boy, here's something you'll really like, something special." And I told her, dedicated to her on this most amazing day of your life. This journal was handmade with love by your super talented auntie. He, he, he. And then the date, and then a little note says, "Read me." And then I just proceeded to embellish with, I don't think I cut any full sheets of paper. I just used my scraps, and I just filled it all up. And I put spots for her to journal, and like a little time card in here, slides in, and I stamped it with a Tim Holtz stamp. It says, "Experience is not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you." Some things I left blank. Over here on a tag, I stamped a stamp, and I colored it with oil pastels, and I stamped the date. And I won't go through every single page because it's pretty much just the same thing. So there's this paper I stamped on it, the word dream. I put aspire to be in the date. This is something I was practicing on my Imagine, so I wanted to use up all the little knickknacks you have lying around. There's some ribbon and piece of paper that I punched out, and I just added some ribbon to it. And then on this time card, I did a little punch on the end, and I stamped the word girl and the definition, and I just did a little pleated paper here and stapled it. Some scribbling, and I just went through randomly and stamped with a date stamp. Right here, I have this stamp, and it is this. It says, "Dream your dream, follow your heart, imagine, listen to the wind, drink sunsets. Be free, let the wonder never cease, believe, wish on every star, create adventure, be kind." I stamped that in the background right here. I know you could probably barely see it. And then I stamped this stamp I love with the girl. Looks like she's just on her mission over the top. Okay, so I just continued filling it up. I put tell your story, did that with a Dymo maker. This is just blank. And then pull me. And I wrote, put it all down on paper, please. Open your heart and write. Let your pen take over. Years from now, someone you love will thank you for it. Why Pasillas, and then the date. And then I just did a little rose border. And it's funny because my daughter called the other one that I'm going to show you right now, she called that an Alice in Wonderland album before she even saw this. And then I realized I did pull me, read me, and Then I have this stamp. I've been wanting to use it. It says It Gets Better. It was like a $1 stamp at Mike's. And then I had this little guy that I cut out from the Imagine, and he says attention. So I stamped It Gets Better. Attention, it gets better. And then surprise inside. The little dress form stamp. Oops, sorry, I'm way out of camera. The little dress form stamp with the flower. And just continued. Okay, so flip through it really quickly. And just spots to journal and write. That's the main thing. More tags, special event. Okay. Another little envelope. She could write right here, right here. And then this, I aged some index cards with some tea, with some black tea. I did some tea dyeing of a whole bunch of them. And I typed on my typewriter 10 things I love most, and I numbered them. And then take note. It's right here. Okay. And then on the back I wrote, ordinary riches can be stolen, real riches cannot. In your soul are infinitely precious things that cannot be taken from you. Oscar Wilde. So that's hers, and then I stamped on the back, handmade book. Okay, and then I made this one for a friend. I'm actually wanted to mail it out by this week, but it's been super hectic this week. But this one has a little more bells and whistles, only because of the fact that I'm sending it to a fellow crafter, and I know she'll get it. But this is the one that my 23-year-old looked at, and she's like, "That's like an Alice in Wonderland album." She's like, "I wouldn't know what to do with it." She's like, "Too many things to eat and drink." So I thought that was a pretty funny analogy. Okay, I put a piece of a die cut, chipboard die cut that I made at a scrapbook store, and I had a whole bunch, so I used that for kind of the cover. And then I stamped that girl that I really like. I don't know where the stamp is. My desk is such a mess. Anyways, I stamped it, but I paper pieced it. And then I put the female perspective and more wax paper flowers and silk flowers. And then this is actually an old Cookie Lee bracelet that I never wear. I just took it apart. And so that's the cover. And then the inside, I just wrote the date. And this journal was made with loads of love and inspiration. I hope you write in it all the time, and that years from now, someone you love will end up with it. And thank you for putting your heart on paper, and my name. This thing I think I'm going to leave blank. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I better decide because I'm mailing it today. And then I just did the same thing. This one I added watercolor paper because I know she likes to art journal. And I stamped on it, and I used the Derwent Inktense pencils. They're awesome, really intense color. And then once you put water to them and they dry, they're permanent. And then you can go over it with another medium if you want. So, and I put date, and I just did the same thing, just more junky stuff, whatever I had lying around, my tags. And throughout a lot of them, I just stamped notes from today with the date. If I didn't put the date stamp, which a couple of times I messed up, but I didn't care because it's just not too much, not a whole bunch of it has to be perfect. I did a lot of edges with some border punches. That's another one of Natasha's challenges, use up your supplies that your neglected supplies. I mean, I use my punches often, but you can have quite a collection, and they're one of my weak spots. So I said I want to really use a lot of punches. And then this is what happiness looks like with a little butterfly, a little tab for the date, and little stamp says follow your heart. Just the same thing, bunch of papers. This is an envelope that I sealed and cut it open on the top, and then I had this little spot. It said Little Girls Are, and then I put amazing women in training, and use my Dymo label maker. This tag is just a time card that I just punched the edges. I didn't put anything on it. These are from Joann's. I had them forever. It's these cards, and it's the whole alphabet, and each one says something different. This says be yourself, and then I put this little girl, came out of a pack of die cuts. It's a Amy Butler, really old pack of die cuts that I had. The date, she could put the month. I stamped a little spot for the month and the year and the date right there where she writes. And then this one is an acrylic, and I've never worked with acrylic, and I know you have to cover it. Be careful how you cover it. So this one's a little more fancy. Put a little envelope with the tag, and they're just all for journaling. I didn't put anything on there except date. It says take note, and then I covered the back, like the mechanics of it, with some flowers and stuff. Same thing. And then I did add regular writing paper in here. I like the color, and it's pretty thick. I bought this a while back, and just cut it, stamp the date, put some stickers that I had from the dollar spot at Joann's. Okay, so this is one of those envelopes that I folded in half. I taped, first I punched the little spot right here for you to, whoa! That was funny. Okay, well, I am not filming this again, so sorry to make you dizzy. I punched this out, and then I taped it down. Okay, so let me back up. That was crazy. Folded the envelope in half, taped it down across the bottom. Before I taped up here, I punched out my little half circle, and then just taped it down on these two sides. So you got a pocket right here, and then two pockets right here. And they're just little tags with the date. Wow, I'm sorry about that. This is one of the little die cuts that was in the Amy Butler collection. I just put some stickles and then some more wax paper flowers. And then on the back, another little spot for her to journal. Okay, in this, I tried my hand at that Tim Coffey technique that he did the other day. He did part 1 and part 2 of his videos, but he's going to come back, and hopefully he said this weekend he'll finish part 3, showing us how he colored. But he did a hot glue technique, and I did some samples right here. So this is a sample. I stamped a stamp, and I did it with the hot glue, but it's a little hard if you have something finely detailed. So I tried these with puffy paint. I don't know if you can see the dimension, but I really like it because you can get more of a fine line when you're tracing. So puffy paint works too. You just have to let it dry. I just bought some white, just these little tubes. I bought it. And then I colored mine with watercolor pencils. So I'll be really curious. You have to check out his video. And check out Monica. She's BC Doula. She's another great inspiration to me, and part of the reason why my journals wanted to be this month has been more self-reflection than anything. And I know some of you don't like to hear the deep stuff, but art heals you, and it gets you through tough times, and it can be your way of creating and keeping your hands busy that releases tension and stress and helps your mind to relax. And Monica totally gets it, and I just enjoy watching her videos so much. And so anyways, she made something really similar. I had actually already made these, and I told her great minds think alike, because she made an awesome video about using all your ephemera and stuff. And yeah, you have to check her out. So her channel is BC Doula, Doula. Okay, so my video is getting really long. I'll better hurry. This is just another one of those bags. I did a tag in here just with all my scraps. I didn't cut any full sheets of paper. I just used all my scraps and tuck it in and pull it out. Sorry. Okay, just more ribbon, little die cuts, more paper with stickers, and more time cards. This was another piece of a chipboard album. I stamped one of those Tim Holtz stamps in there, put a spot for journaling. This is another Tim Holtz die. You can just, not die, Tim Holtz stamp. You can write right there. I use this really cool ribbon punch I have, ribbon slot punch. You punch it, it has all these little slits, and then you can put ribbon or a strip of paper. And continued with the date stamp, month stamp. I did my story right there with a little tab. And then that stamp that I like right there. And then this is a Tim Holtz glassine craft envelope, and I glued this halfway so that the tab can pull up, and then she can tuck notes inside. And then this is another one of those Tim Coffey things that I did. I did it on craft paper, really thin chipboard, stamped a flower, did the whole thing. This one I did with the glue gun. And then I just tore it out. I'm like, I'm just going to use them. And then this is one of my favorite quotes. If you know my other one, it's the one by Marianne Williamson. But this one is by Washington Irving, and it says, "There is in every true woman's heart a spark of heavenly fire which lies dormant in the broad daylight of prosperity, but which kindles up and beams and blazes in the dark hour of adversity." What is that? This is some more watercolor paper, and I stamped, and I used watercolor pencils. And I just did some punches and ribbon and the date again. And then another bag, I stamped that rose border. I colored them with chalk, and then just used up more die cuts, plain tag inside. And the back I just did a rub on that I really like. And then that's it. And then the back says handmade book number 2. So anyways, this is heading off to a friend. I hope she enjoys it. I hope she writes in it. And I'm making, the next one is going to be for myself, and I'm going to get up every morning before everyone, which is what I usually do. And I'm going to journal, have my coffee, and I'm going to journal. Monica suggests, you have your spot and your time where you do that. And, to just just to self-reflect for the day, prepare your mind and your soul for the day. So anyways, thanks for watching, ladies. And I know I've been a little MIA, and I know I owe some videos, the recipe cards and stuff. It's just been really crazy around here. And I tried filming the recipe card video, and I felt like it was my first video, honestly, my very first ever video on YouTube. My voice was just like so monotone. But anyways, I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna refilm it and upload that. So thanks for watching. I hope you hung out till the end, and I'm sorry if it drug out. But try these. Just collect a bunch of stuff you have lying around and punch some holes and get busy. And this, like I said, was a little more Alice in Wonderland style, but they don't have to be. And it'll give you a great way to use up your stash, use up your scraps, throw little bits and pieces of things you have lying around, and make it for someone. As a journal. So anyways, all right, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.